Let's have a look at question B in this video. So, will the revenue from the additional millage be more, less, or equal to $10 per week? Now, we're speaking about the additional revenue. So, by charging higher, do the parents make more money than what they pay with this $10? Well, let's look at in contrast. What would happen? What would happen if Harry would still have the same amount of money left after paying for driving? So in other words, even though driving would be more expensive, even we would speak about this red budget constraint now, if we are left with the same money as before, this M that used to be before the $10 increase in allowance, then we can see that he would reduce his amount of driving just a bit. So in that case, he would just neutralize the effect of a higher fee for driving with his $10. But what we notice is that under the new optimal budget constraint, the optimal point on this red budget constraint, on this red budget line, is over here. The money that he has left after paying for the millage, after paying for driving, is higher than used to be before. Well, that means that he has more money after driving than he used to have before. So let's write that down. He has more money for other goods than before. For other goods than before. What does this mean? This means that what he pays additionally for more expensive driving is compensated by more allowance. Let's write that too, because this is not a really easy question, so that's why we should take some time with it. This means that what he pays for more expensive driving, is compensated by additional allowance. And notice that I say compensated, not neutralize it, because if we say just neutralize, it means he just trades off the same money for the same driving at a higher price, and he still ends up in the same allowance that he can spend on other goods. But he keeps a higher allowance after paying for driving, meaning that although he pays more expensive for driving, he reduces the driving to such an extent that he leaves himself more money than before. So that's the conclusion, that he reduces driving to such an extent that he leaves himself more money than before. Let's go down a bit. More money than before. In other words, the additional money that he sacrifices for more driving, for more expensive driving, is less than the additional money he gets in return, because this is what the graph proves us. The fact that he's leaving himself more money to spend on other goods means that he is able to manage his driving consumption in such a way that he spends less on driving and leaves himself more money for himself. So the extra allowance is compensating than what he is paying in higher fees, than the extra charge for driving. Extra charge for driving. This is not an easy question. Go through the webcast more times if necessary, but I hope this will make sense, and we are done.